How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Today we are doing something a little bit different on the channel, something that is long overdue, for me at least, and that is a sneak tier list for all of the tubs and flavors that they brought out so far. Now, this is one that I think Sneak has actually made themselves, that is updated regularly with all their flavors. I think there is the new Royal Blood flavor on here, which is unfortunately only released in Europe, but I'd love to get the hands on one. It'd be really cool to see what it's like. It does look very cool. So that being said, we're gonna go through each tub. We're gonna rank it. My personal ones, obviously it's gonna be different for everybody, but hopefully I can give you some sort of idea of kind of what they're all like. So we are gonna start off from, I think we're just gonna do from left to right, front to back. The only ones that I haven't tried on this kind of list are the cans. I haven't actually got around to trying them yet. My idea of what they're like is it's just kind of a carbonated version of it, so it shouldn't differentiate too much from what the actual flavors are like in the tubs. I might get around to eventually trying them. We don't know yet. So starting off, Blackout. Blackout was one of the legacy drops, I believe. It was one of the first flavors that they released, but it got re-released in the legacy pack, and that's the first time that I've actually tried it. And I'd probably say it is in heavy rotation. If it was available all the time, definitely buying it at least every other purchase. Flavor wise, it's been a while since, to be fair, flavor wise for a lot of these, it's been a while since I've tried them, so I'll try my best to explain kind of what they're like, but I might be quite inaccurate with them, so I do apologize. So Blackout, people were always discussing kind of what this and the Unreleased flavor were like. I think people kind of settled on Blackout being like Parma Violets. If you're from the UK, you'll know what those are. If you're not from the UK, Parma Violets were kind of like little, really small purple sweets that you'd get in selection packs of sweets, I guess, like little Haribos and little things like that. I don't like blackcurrant-y kind of flavor, I guess, is probably the closest thing. It's quite a nice flavor, quite pleasant. Definitely, if you ever get a chance to pick up a Blackout or an Unreleased for that matter, definitely try and get your hands on it. Don't get scammed, but try your best to get it. The next one is Blankberry. Oof. This one's gonna be difficult, I think, because I remember when this first got released, I've still got my second tub of this. I would buy it again. I think it's very similar to Purple Storm in the sense that it's kind of like a berry flavor. I think I used to get Ribena flavors, I think, from it. It was quite a nice flavor, but again, I think it was kind of similar to Purple Storm, so I used to compare those two, and there is very different flavor profiles to them, but they are quite similar in that sense. Moving on, we have Blizzard. Blizzard, straight away, inject into my eyeballs. The best flavor of Sneak I think I've ever had. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's like a cloudy lemonade flavor. It's just so good. If you've tried it, you'll understand what I mean. It is the most, I think it's probably one of the most hyped flavors that they've released. They're on the 3rd generation of it now. I believe that tub is the second version. Yeah, no, that's the second. So that's the second version tub, which was, I think, the best. The 3rd version they've had to change slightly because of some flavors that they can't get hold of anymore, but also the packaging of the tub is different. It's kind of branded to their whole snowboard kind of vibe thing that they were doing. That was really cool. Blizzard is just insane. They're bringing it back seasonally now, so is it November, December time till they've just stopped it last month, I believe, so that was April, so it's around for a few months, so you have time to get it, and I think they're doing it each year now, and obviously kind of changing it up with whatever winter thing there is going on. Blizberry. Ooh. So Blizberry was a community flavor that they released just after they announced the 3.0 Blizzard, actually, based on the community. I believe it was the Facebook community. They'd done some mixing, basically the recipes that you can do where you mix two flavors together, and people were always coming back to the blue raspberry and Blizzard combination. And in my personal opinion, I'd probably do God tier as well. just because it includes Blizzard, and then blue raspberry. Like blue raspberry by itself is a very, very good flavor, but I think it was missing something, and I couldn't really figure out what it was. And then you try Blizberry, and it's just that is what it's missing. It was missing the Blizzard flavor, just to kind of give it that extra level of flavor and that kind of extra boost. And it is so good. If you didn't get a chance to pick that tub up, I think it's a 60. I'm going to do percentages here of the scoop. So I think it's 60% of a scoop of blue raspberry and then 40% of a Blizzard scoop. Mix them together and you should get a pretty accurate result to the Blizberry flavor. So it's definitely worth trying out. So I know that there's a few flavors on here that I haven't tried because I didn't get a chance to get hold of it. Like so these two here, these are the Blizberry ones. These were a limited edition release, I believe in summer last year, but I never got a chance to try it. I know that, so these two flavors were Bitberry Limeade and Pixel Punch. I never got to try them. I never got around to actually buying a tub of these. The Pixel Punch, from what I remember, was the more favored flavor of the two. I know that the Pixel Punch ran out of stock quite quickly, and the Bitberry Limeade, there's tongue twisters everywhere, wasn't as popular, but it did eventually sell out. So I'm not too sure whether it was because of just people kind of figured out what the flavors were and preferred another one, or kind of what went on there. But I never got a chance to try them. And from what I've heard about the Pixel Punch one, it was very, very good. So if they ever come back, I might try and pick one of them up. Okay, blue raspberry. Again, blue raspberry, probably go into heavy rotation. Very good flavor, very refreshing. Like I said, if you've got Blizzard, mix it together. You can make Blizberry. Definitely recommend. Okay, we have the Blueberry Millions. Now, I've only ever tried this one in the packet form because I never got around to buying a full tub of it. I'd previously bought a full tub of the Strawberry Millions, which if you're from the UK, you'll know what Millions are. If not, the Millions sweets are essentially just very, very small balls that are kind of chewy, but they have, I believe, 3 flavors, which are what the Sneak has actually done with collaborations with them. So there's blueberry, Coca-Cola, and strawberry. I only ever really tried the strawberry one. I got a tub of that just because I like sweet things. The strawberry one was good. I'd probably put that into the not convinced one though. Probably it lacked a little bit of flavor in my opinion, but I think comparing it to the sweet, it is very similar. So maybe the accuracy with the sweet was probably spot on, but for me it was just a little bit lacking. So the blueberry one I didn't get to try, along with the Coca-Cola one. I don't think I actually heard too much about the Coca-Cola one, other than if I'm guessing it was very accurate to the actual Coca-Cola flavor of the Millions. But just going off popularity from the Millions Coca-Cola flavor as a sweet, I don't really see that too much anymore. I never really saw much of that being sold. So I'm not too sure if it was because of that or what went on, but I'm sure it was good. Okay, Sneak Cherry Bomb, just instantly looking straight at the camera, inject it into my eyeballs. I'm not a massive fan of cherry things, but for some reason this flavor is just insane. The closest thing I could probably compare it to is the fizzy Haribo cherries. So if you like them, you will love this flavor. It is so good. It is, I think, another thing that you can mix with other flavors and it just enhances the flavor. So 10 out of 10, God tier. Just please, I just get this one every single time. Okay, so the next flavor is their newest flavor actually, which is Grape. I've not managed to grab this yet. I think it's the possibility of getting it next. I think I'm gonna get Grape and then probably Cherry Bomb again, sorry. So I think those two, I can't figure out what it's gonna taste like. Okay, yeah, it's grape flavored, we know that much, but I'm trying to compare something to like what grape flavored is. I can't seem to find anything that's similar. So like, for example, like Ribena is blackcurrant, and that's probably the closest thing I can think of that how it would taste. So I'm a bit on the fence to kind of like what it tastes like, but at the same time, I might just take the plunge and just get a tub because it could be a really good flavor. But again, I'm a bit like, do I get it? Don't I get it? They've just released packets of it, so I might go down that road just to be safe. But I think every flavor of Sneak that I've tasted so far, I've enjoyed. So I doubt this one's going to be any different. Okay, moving on. I realize I've said okay a lot in this every time I change flavors, so I do apologize. But up next, we have Neon Punch. Neon Punch, when I first tried it, was probably one of the most refreshing flavors I've tried. I would buy it again. I think it's probably the best one to have. I don't know what it's lacking something for it to be in heavy rotation. I don't know whether it's because I don't really know. I don't know if I like the flavors enough. I'm not entirely convinced what the flavors are either, because I heard that it's like guava and something else. Off the top of my head, I can't think what it is. But it was, all I can remember is when I first tried it, it was very, very refreshing, and it is very punchy. It's like, sorry for the pun, but like that's like the name kind of does give it sense. If you're looking for something that's quite fruity, quite refreshing, I definitely recommend it. I believe if you mix this with Stealth, which is no longer actually continued in the UK, which is sad. I believe if you mix those two flavors together, you got a tutti frutti flavor, which that was actually quite nice. That was a good flavor to have. So I think Woodbine again is probably a decent one to have. Purple Storm is the one up next, which again similar to Blankberry. I think Woodbine again, it's a good flavor, pretty bog standard. That one is very similar to Ribena and Vimto. That's kind of where I would place it on like a flavor spectrum. Definitely a summer flavor, I guess. I think the Woodbine again flavors are all summer flavors. Like just looking at it quickly. They are very fruity, very flavorful, very refreshing as well. Like one of those things that you like on a hot day, some ice, mix that together, spot on. Okay, moving on, we have Raspberry Lemonade. This was, from what I remember, a very hyped flavor that was released. I'm trying to think where I would put it, because I don't want to put everything in Woodbine again, even though everything is kind of like I would probably get a lot of the permanent flavors constantly. I think I'm going to put it there just because I feel bad if I was to put it in Not Convinced, solely based on when I first tried it, the aftertaste was quite odd. I don't know whether it was because I didn't shake it well enough or what, but I think the first few tastes of it, the aftertaste was quite strange. The more you drink it, the more you get used to it, and then you kind of start to get used to the flavor of kind of like the raspberry lemonade. It is very sweet, very refreshing. It's the initial flavor of raspberry. I think when you drink it, you get that initial taste on your tongue, and then as it goes down, you get more of a lemonade kind of flavor. So it does what it says on the tin, definitely. If there was a tier in between Woodbine and Not Convinced, I'd probably put it in there. Okay, up next we have Royal Blood. I haven't tried it yet. Really want to try it. Sneak, if you want to send me a tub, I'll DM you. Don't worry about it. We'll sort something out. This, I believe, was done for Europe. It's for a holiday in Holland, I believe, for the king. I believe it is specifically made for that. I don't think you'll be able to see it on this, but the little Sneak Money has a little crown on it. The tub design itself looks sick. The color on it is incredible. It's a very dark orange flavor, dark orange color, sorry. I'm probably gonna taste kind of orangey, but I can't think off the top of my head what it would taste like potentially. It could be like a blood orange flavor with it being orange. I doubt it would be too sweet. But yeah, I'm not too sure what that one would taste like, but it'd be very interesting to try and kind of see what people would think of it. Okay. I'm going to skip over, so I'm going to skip over this one for now, and I'm going to go straight to Stealth, just because I'm going to put it in God tier, because it is one of my favorite flavors, even though it tore the community apart, because you either loved it or hate it. It was essentially the Marmite flavor of Sneak. I believe it was just like a generic energy drink flavor. So if you think of Relentless's like original flavor or Monster's original flavor, it was kind of like that. There was no specific taste to it. It was just an energy drink flavor. But I think the first time I tried it, it was a bit of a shock because I didn't really know what it was or how to. My brain couldn't figure out what it tasted like, basically. But then the more I've had it, the more I loved it. And then Sneak unfortunately announced that they were discontinuing it, at least in the UK. I believe you can get it in other countries, but for the UK fan base that really wanted it, it was a sad day. And a lot of people, I believe they also did like a final run of it where the tubs were slightly different, and it was kind of like what was it? It was something to do with like it was like the discontinued tubs, and they had like a special design on it. It was really cool, but I never managed to get hands on it because it sold out, I think, that quickly. But it's definitely one of my favorite flavors. So out of these final 4, the 3 of them, honestly, so I got 2 out of the 3 tubs. They aren't the best in my personal opinion. So I think I'm gonna put them in their places and then I'll talk about them. Sour apple, strawberry and watermelon, and Tropicilla. So why have I put these in these places? Sour apple, I'm not a massive fan of apple things, so it doesn't really make sense to put it any higher. It isn't a bad flavor by any means, but for me, I don't know what it is. I'm just a bit like meh on it. The strawberry watermelon, again, similar to the strawberry millions, it just lacks a little bit of flavor and a bit of that kind of like oomph. I don't know whether it's because the two flavors together work. Like the strawberry and watermelon, they are refreshing, they are nice, they are sweet, but for some reason I think they might just cancel each other out. I think after a while, if you don't drink it within a very short span of time, it just dilutes it a bit more than it should, and then that's how it kind of goes a bit weak, a bit just meh is probably the easiest way to put it. Tropicilla, I feel harsh for putting it in Kill It With Fire, but for me personally, it was the first tub that I ever bought from Sneak, and obviously having it, I did enjoy it, but I think realizing now, like having tried so many others, it's probably my least favorite flavor, simply because it's quite a sour flavor. I believe the flavor of it is kind of like tropical fruits. So take that information as you will. I think a pineapple, I think, is definitely one of the fruits in it. The others, typical kind of like energy drink flavors, they just kind of, it's a broad spectrum. They don't specifically tell you what fruits they're kind of like going for, but it is just tropical fruits, and for some reason, like, it is very sour. So if you like sour things, you probably will enjoy that flavor. But for me, I think over time, I just kind of started to just grow weaker and weaker from it, and just ended up not liking it as much as the others. Before I go into the last tub, I'm just going to move the cans down to haven't tried yet, because I just haven't tried them, haven't got around to them. I know they are sold in places like Game and kind of any other video game kind of shops or gaming bars. I think there's a lot of them being seen more and more throughout the country. So it's cool to see that the company's kind of getting sold and put into these places. I believe in Manchester, I think it's in Trafford Centre in Manchester, there's a game shop that has a kind of like a PC kind of like upstairs part to it, and it's sold in there. So it's really cool to see that, but I haven't got around to them just yet. On to the final tub. It's one that I'm actually currently drinking as I'm making this video. I don't know if you can hear the ice in this, but it is Unreleased. Now, Unreleased, straight to the top, has to be, it's upsetting as well because it's no longer available, but it is one of my favorite flavors. And if there was one flavor to bring back, I'd probably say this one the most. Even though I love Stealth and also Blackout, out of those 3, I'd probably say Unreleased. With it being called Unreleased, again, kind of like Tropicilla, it's very broad as what the flavor could be. A lot of people in the communities have been saying that it's similar to Flat Iron Brew. Drinking it, I get. I think there is kind of like an orangey twist to it. I don't specifically think that myself. I think there is something else to it, but I'm not sure what it is. Like, I can't put my finger on it, basically. But it is a very, very good flavor. I think looking at the God tier section, there's some very, very good choices, and a lot out of all of them as well. Actually, out of all of them, looking at it, there's only one that's always available, and that's Cherry Bomb. Probably not the best choices of what you should go for, but Blizzard comes around seasonally. You can always get your hands on that at some point. Blizberry, community flavor, probably won't be able to get your hands on that anymore unless Sneak do something based around it. I think they will bring out some more community-based flavors, just because the amount of recipes that you can have with Sneak tubs is so massive that they're bound to just add a few more to their roster. Again, I believe it was the Neon Punch and the Stealth that was Tutti Frutti, and I think there was one with the Raspberry Lemonade, I think, but I can't remember off the top of my head what that flavor was. They sent an email out about it a few months ago, and it was a pretty good one. It was a pretty good email, pretty informative about what you could mix together. So if you're looking for more recipes, they have, I believe, a Facebook community, which I will leave a link down below if you guys want to check that out, and also the Discord. I believe they have a section that is specifically tailored to recipes that people will just add to if they found a new one, which I think is really cool. It shows how broad and experimentative the community is, and I think that's a really cool thing. So that is my tier list. That is something that is my personal opinion. I probably will get a lot of debate of what is right, what is wrong. I think off just glancing at it, I think a lot of the people would think the same, especially considering I haven't tried quite a few flavors yet, or just didn't get a chance to do it. I think a lot of people would say 9 times out of, well, I'd say it's probably split. I think there's a few tubs that were probably could be moved up, could be moved down, but hey, it's everybody's opinion. I know for a fact that Stealth is either god tier or kill it with fire with some people, but that was a very kind of niche flavor, so it's understandable. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is my tier list for Sneak Energy. If you enjoyed it, let me know, give it a like, give it a sub, all that stuff. Let me know down below what your flavors are. Why don't you make your own tier list as well? I will leave a link to this page specifically in the description, so go try it yourself. Go check out Sneak, they're sick. They are an incredible company with very, very, very good flavors. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you around.